Look closely at the motion on your screen. Don't rush. Let your eyes trace the line until it feels familiar. What do you see? A dance, yes, but not a frivolous one. An eternal return. A loop that folds into itself like a whispered secret. Most people glance and say, repetition, and move on. A physicist leans closer. They name what many miss, symmetry. That quiet pattern stitched through movement, the hidden balance that makes form intelligible. Tonight we follow that thread, from the gilded loops that catch your gaze to the mathematical heart that keeps the world from unraveling. Listen, this is not entertainment. It is an instruction. This isn't only about what looks beautiful. Underneath the beauty lies persistence, the quality that refuses to change when everything else shifts. While Einstein redrew the map of space and time, another mind was working in a different register, tracing the silent rules that let his map hold together. Emmy Noether, a quiet revolutionary of algebra and intuition, found the glue. A bridge from geometry to the conserved quantities we call energy, momentum, spin. Her theorem does something modest and enormous at once. It translates graceful shapes into promises that the world keeps. We will walk over that bridge slowly, because once you've crossed, the familiar will seem miraculous. When we say symmetry, most of us imagine mirrors or matching wings, but the deeper meaning is invariance, the art of staying the same while everything around you moves. Imagine a law that refuses to be bullied by time or place. It simply holds. That is the miracle of physics. Laws that do nothing, in the sense that they do not change. And because they do not change, they allow everything else to be meaningful. Your morning and your noon, and your memory of yesterday, align because the rules beneath them are steady. There's a kind of sacred leisure in that doing nothing. The universe's patient insistence on continuity. Think of a simple experiment. Perform it once. Perform it again the next day. If the outcome is identical, you have glimpsed time translation symmetry. The promise that the rules do not rearrange themselves while you sleep. It is the reason recipes work, engines run, and promises can be trusted. Time does not favor one moment over another. It treats each second with the same mathematics. That sameness is the backbone of our predictability and, astonishingly, of our interior life. The neurons that blink in your skull obey the same bookkeeping today as last year. In that steadiness, your memories, plans, and sense of self can take root. What does that steadiness look like at the smallest scales? Picture neuron firings, chemical cascades, an orchestra of microscopic events. Each reaction follows physical rules that do not change from one heartbeat to the next. Because of that constancy, your thought can be repeated, refined, and trusted. The idea that I think, therefore I, depends on a hidden infrastructure of invariance. We are built on laws that refuse novelty in their form, not because the universe lacks imagination, but because without a stable grammar, there could be no language of experience at all. The quiet reliability of the laws is the scaffolding of consciousness. Time symmetry gives us energy conservation, the remarkable statement that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only reconfigured. Think of energy as the universe's accounting ledger, the currency in which events are settled. A falling leaf becomes a breeze, becomes warmth in your skin. The numbers balance. That same ledger traces the cost of thought, the expenditure of attention, the metabolic trade that keeps you alive. Energy flows and transforms, but the total remains. In that steadiness, there is both comfort and responsibility. Your smallest act participates in a grand conservation. The cosmos pays its debts, and in doing so, keeps the books for everything you are. In 1918, Emmy Noether proved what feels at once technical and visionary. For every continuous symmetry in nature, there is a corresponding conservation law. It is a kind of mathematical alchemy, a translation table between pattern and persistence. Turn time into symmetry and you get energy. Rotate space and you find conservation of spin. This is not a metaphysical suggestion. It is a formal theorem. The cosmos is not merely poetic. It is exact. Noether's proof shows that the world's regularities aren't accidents or conveniences. They are necessary consequences of the geometry around us. To read her work is to read the universe's handwriting. The idea that the laws are the same here as they are a mile away gives rise to momentum conservation. If the rules do not prefer one place to another, then motion cannot simply vanish on a whim. A rolling ball keeps rolling. A river keeps its course. That persistence underlies travel, weather, and the life work of migrating birds. It is also the quiet reliability that keeps our actions meaningful. Effort applied in one place produces consequences that travel outward, constrained by laws that refuse favoritism. Momentum is the residue of symmetry, the persistence of motion scribbled into the fabric of space itself. Rotate the system and find the next conservation: angular momentum. Because the universe doesn't demand a favored orientation, spins must be preserved. This explains everything from why a skater's arms pull them inward as they spin, to why planets glide in patient arcs for eons. Rotational invariance is a cosmic choreography that keeps the stars from collapsing into chaos. When you feel steadiness in a turning moment, a wheel's hum, a child's twirl, you are encountering a law written in rotation. The sun rises because the stage of space does not insist on a top or bottom. Motion is conserved, and so the show goes on. And here is where the physics becomes personal. These are not remote theorems tucked behind blackboards. They are the grammar of your body, your perception, your sense of continuity. You are not merely watching a lecture about rules. You are made of those rules. The rhythm of your heart, the flicker of your attention, the steadiness of your waking self. All of it obeys the symmetries we have named. That realization can be humbling or liberating, depending on how you meet it. Humbling because you are not the author of the laws. Liberating because you are, in a small and astonishing way, their local expression. Every beat of your heart, every glance, every tiny decision is an instance of conservation in action. You expend energy. The universe accounts for it. You move through space. Momentum carries your story forward. Each thought uses metabolic currency and redraws neuronal circuits that are themselves governed by invariant physical law. In this sense, you are both the actor and the balance sheet, a local conversion of the cosmos's abstract bookkeeping into the living texture of experience. Think of your free will as a move on a game board. The board is what makes the move possible. Your choices gain meaning only because a larger structure allows them. The story does not end in oblivion. It conserves. When the screen goes black and the last note fades, the energy of your attention does not vanish. It migrates, transforms, becomes something else in the ledger of the world. Emmy Noether gave us proof that the cosmos is a balanced composition, not chaos masquerading as meaning. That insight should not make you small. It should make you reverent. You are not merely a character in a passing scene. You are the symmetry that allows the scene to be told. Carry that fact gently. It is both a promise and a responsibility. If we follow the thread further, a bold claim emerges. You are not separate from the geometry. You are the geometry experiencing itself. The same symmetries that preserve a planet's spin preserve the continuity of your thought. The same invariances that stitch the sky together stitch the cadence of your breath. When you look inward and see pattern, repetition, echo, resonance, you are glimpsing the structure that also curves galaxies. In that view, identity is a local fold in a universal tapestry, and awareness is the tapestry's way of noticing its own weave.